So whenever we do something for the first time in life, first time, you feel good. You remember those feelings, isn't it? And sometimes those feelings are so good, so special, that you remember for years, for life, sometimes lifelong. So I remember I doing something very special for the first time in my life, years ago, when I was in second year of my graduation. For the first time in my life, I was wearing jeans pant. Now that's a very special feeling. Now to understand this feeling, you need to understand my father first. If you understand about my father, then you will understand this, that why I was feeling so special. Now in those days, when we were child, we were poor. Now that doesn't mean that we are rich now. We were poor in those days. Now there are few people who are poor by finance, but there are few people who are poor by mindset. We were poor by both, finance also and mindset also. Now what do you mean by mindset poor? You go to any shop for a biscuit, you will take only Parle-G. Good day is not for you. Every year we used to go to Shirdi, and my other family members, they were very excited to do darshan, but I was always excited to buy a toy, because once in a year, Shirdi, one toy fixed. But I standing in front of that toy shop, it was very clear for me that I will get a toy which is manual with that key. Because buying a toy with cell and remote is not for us. I remember even in Diwali, when you used to get clothes, new clothes, they never used to buy ready-made, because ready-made clothes, they get tight very easy, very next year. But when you stitch, you can stitch by keeping your growing body dimensions in. So at least for next 2 to 3 years, you can still use it. So my brother, he completed his 12th standard and he entered in engineering. There was a 2 years difference between me and my brother. I was doing my 10th, he was doing 12th. He entered in engineering, and they came one day to dad and he said, "Dad, I need cycle." But that's a very genuine demand. It was required. And he could not say no. And I still remember that night, me and my brother, we were talking, and he said, "Hey, tomorrow we are going to buy cycle. And we are going to buy Ranger." Now there were 2 types of cycle in those days. One is that Doodwala cycle, and one is Ranger. Now there's a huge difference between these 2 cycles. Now if you see, the Doodwala cycle is like this, down, no confidence, looking down, right? And Ranger is like this. So there's a difference in attitude. Huge difference between this and this. And I said, "You really, Ranger? Have you spoken to dad?" He said, "No, but I told Mama is going to speak to dad tonight." I said, "Wow." And next day, we got up in the morning, we went to shop. And once we reached the shop, there were 3 types of cycles. One was racer with gear. First time I saw. But that was fantasy. Then the dream was in front of us, the Ranger. And then the reality was here, 24-inch 24-inch cycle. Because the moment my mom said to my dad that, "Can we buy this Ranger?" This was the expression of my dad. And then we understood. It's not going to happen. And very next moment, I was standing in the middle. I could see one side my dad was paying to that cash counter, and on other hand, my brother with that 24-inch cycle was angry, almost tear in his eyes, and he decided not to wait for us, and he started riding the cycle and started moving towards home. My dad came and he said, "See how excited he is with the new cycle." I completed my 12th and I entered to do graduation in pharmacy. My parents wanted to become a doctor, but when you don't get admission in doctor, just to manage your ego, you go to pharmacies, because they both wear white coat. So, first year, when I reached, I went to some other place. There's a place called Loni near Shirdi. So all this was happening in Nasik. So first year, I saw something which I was looking for the first time in my life. I was sitting with my friends in beer bar for the first time, and they offered me beer. I said, "No, I don't drink." And they said, "You are a kid, you are a child." And then he said, "Waiter, come here, 1 chicken lollipop." So I thought he gave 2 orders, 1 chicken for him and lollipop for me, Because before that I never heard chicken lollipop in my life. And the chicken lollipop came after some time. The only reason I didn't decide to pick, because I had no idea from where I should pick, from the round side or from the stick side. The other thing which was very weird for me, which I saw for the first time, was aftershave. My roommate used to use. I have no idea. I saw my father using Lifebuoy to make that foam, but aftershave was beyond my imagination. But the third thing which I saw was special. It was different, and that was jeans. It was completely different texture, different lining. There was no line here which we have in trousers. The pockets were different. The feeling was different. The color was different. The fitting was different. And the biggest difference between jeans and the trouser which I was wearing that day was, you can wear that jeans even without belt. I said, wow, this is something which I should buy. So I went to one shop. I was living in the hostel. I went to shop and I said, how much? He said, 1,000 rupees. Now my routine was very simple in those days. Every month, last Sunday I used to go home and they used to give me 900 rupees. 500 rupees for the mess, 300 rupees for the breakfast, and 100 rupees for going and coming every month. I said, buying a jeans is as good as going on hunger strike. So almost for a year, I just parked that idea. For me, it was good day biscuit. For me, it was that fantasy. I said, it's not for me. Then something happened in the second year. I was just coming from the Nasik station, the bus stand, going towards... so I was waiting at the bus stand and I saw a guy selling old clothes. You know, on that footpath, if you go to small cities, you will find people, they sell old clothes, same clothes which we normally give to those people who come home and exchange with the utensils. And they were well washed and well pressed. And I could see jeans there. I said, how much? He said, 300 rupees. I said, it's quite expensive. Then I said, when I was going in the bus, I was thinking, can I manage? I said, yes, I can. I have 900 rupees in my pocket, 500 rupees mess, lunch, dinner taken care. 100 rupees I have to have because 50 rupees I will give to conductor now, 50 I need to come back. 300 rupees. What if I skip my breakfast for next 1 month? I can manage that. But there was a problem. My college, we used to complete theory by 1 o'clock and then half an hour break, and we used to complete practical by 3:30. And by the time we used to reach the mess, it was almost 4 o'clock. So virtually I am saying that for next 1 month, till 4 o'clock I will be without food. And then almost for next 1 month, I tried my best to cheat my friends to have breakfast every day. Sometimes after eating, oh, my wallet is inside here, can you pay? Or I have 100 rupees in my pocket, can you pay? For a few days I was hungry, but I managed. It was difficult, but I managed almost for a month. And I came back again. It was Sunday. And I told mom that I will be leaving little early today. So normally I used to take a 6 o'clock bus. So that day I said, I will go 4 o'clock. I was wearing a white shirt that day. And that day I had 900 rupees here and 300 rupees here. I knew what to do with these 300 rupees. I reached the bus stand and I could see 4 to 5 jeans color. Now I had to choose. One was black, one was carbon black, one was dark blue, and one was light blue. It was very clear that I am going to choose light blue. Why? Film Khiladi, Akshay Kumar, song Wada Raha Sanam. I don't know whether you remember, and white shirt, jeans, oh my God. I took that. And as soon as I took that jeans, I started running towards the Sulabh Shauchale. No, not to empty my bladder, but to wear that jeans. And for the first time in my life, I was wearing that jeans. And for a moment that I was not taking the Parle G biscuit, I'm taking the Good Day biscuit. For a moment I thought I'm not taking that manual car, I'm taking that car with that cell. For the first time I thought that day my brother was not sitting on that 24-inch cycle, he was sitting on that Ranger. That feeling was special. When I came out from the Sulabh Shauchale, I was a completely different person, walking straight like this, sat down in the bus. one hand outside the window, and I was thinking that how people will react now. First time they will see me in jeans. How my friends, what my friends will say, what my my teachers will say, what she will say. I was thinking all that. And I reached the hostel. I opened the door, I kept my bag down, and my friend, my room partner said, "Hey, what happened to your jeans from behind? It's completely torn apart. Is this your old jeans?" I said in my heart, "It's not my old jeans, but I think it's someone else's old jeans." Thank you.